Good morning, all of you. Let us continue our chapter. We are doing rock and rock cycle. Yesterday, we have seen the igneous rock. Igneous rock is the primary rock, the first rock derived on the Earth's surface. Rest all two rocks, sedimentary and the igneous rocks, they derive from the igneous rock. So we are going we are seeing the sedimentary rock. We have discussed the types of sedimentary rock. Now we are doing the character of a sedimentary rock. As I told you, the sedimentary rock forms due to the weathering, due to the erosion of the previous rock or the igneous rock. Igneous rock, when erosion occurs of the igneous rock, it gathers, it was settled down, it was compact at one place and they make the sedimentary rock. So they are not a new rock, they mainly occurs due to the primary rock, igneous rock. While the erosion of igneous rocks, the sedimentary rocks are formed. Because the process of the formation of igneous sedimentary rock is a very slow, the layer by layer, one layer, two layer, layer by layer, these sedimentary rocks are formed. So they having a layer, they having a many layers of these rocks. The this next point is mainly it deposits in the when it deposits in the lake or the sea. When the sediments deposited in the lake or sea, what happened in that the fine particles, they settle down at the center, and the big particles like the pebbles and the sands and the silts, they settle at the corner side, at the side. This rocks also contains fossils. When because they are forming layer by layer, one layer, two layers, so they contain fossils. You all know the fossils. The remains of the dead of organic material like plant and animals are known as a fossil because they form layer by layer. When one layer was formed, suppose one layer was formed, when any animal dies in that place, the other layer when they form, they cover that animal, and this is how later on it decays and the forms a fossil. So the sedimentary rock is the only rock which contains the fossils. So next, it is a permeable rock. Permeable rock means it allows water seepage of the water. When the water is collected on the sedimentary rock, it allows for the seepage very easily. The rocks very easily rocks flows through this rock. The water flows through this rock. Whenever the water was collected in the sedimentary rock, slowly and gradually it goes to the downward side. So it is a permeable and a porous rock. The sedimentary rock, if you see the importance of a sedimentary rock, it having the great economical importance as well as it also traces the fossil because it contains a fossil. It also traces the period of the history. We can come to know about the historical period. Now the next rock is a metamorphic rock. The third rock is a metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock occurs when the material, when the rock or igneous rock or the sedimentary rock, due to the volcanic eruption or because of the earthquake or because of the any reason, when because of any of this reason, when the this rock buried inside the earth's surface, the metamorphic rock occurs. When the earthquake, take example of an earthquake, whenever the earthquake occurs, many rocks, they also goes due to the vibration, they subsidize, they go beneath the earth's surface. When this rocks goes beneath the earth's surface, at that time what happened, interior of the earth, it having a very high temperature and very high pressure. Because of this high temperature and pressure, the character of a rock which goes beneath the earth's surface, the character of that rock changes. This is known as a metamorphism, or the rock which is formed because of this reason is known as a metamorphic rock. You take example, very good example, the carbon, the diamond, it comes from the carbon only. Carbon, is remains of the organic material. When the remains of the organic material buried inside the the earth, the diamonds are formed. So that is known, that is a metamorphic rock. Maybe the causes of a metamorphic rock, if you see the volcanic eruption, when the volcanic eruption comes, The lava when which was coming outside from the cracks, from the hole, from the volcanoes, most of the lava they also gushes to the cracks of the rocks. When this lava gushes into the cracks of the rock, because it having a very high temperature, the surrounding rock where this lava enters, they change their character. So the volcanic eruption was the first reason. The mountain building endogenic and contact with the underground water. When the mountain buildings, when the earth crust was folding and faulting occurs, at that time also what happened, the interior, the heat energy of the interior, it also comes upward side or the downward side. Because of that also the migration metamorphism occurs. And also when the rock come with the contact with the groundwater, sometimes the groundwater is a very hot, and because of that the migration metamorphism occurs, and this is a causes of migration. The causes of migration. Now we see the characteristic of a migration, characteristic of a metamorphic rock. The first one, it is, this was the rock which originated with the pre-existing rock, like the igneous rock. When the igneous rock or sedimentary rock goes inside the earth's surface, there, because of the high temperature and the pressure, the character of this rock, igneous and sedimentary rocks, changes, and they forms a new rock known as a metamorphic rock. So metamorphism occurs mainly with the pre-existing rock, the igneous and the sedimentary rock. Secondly, after the metamorphism, the rocks becomes more harder. Like example, if you see the limestone, when the limestones, simply the chuna patthar, when the metamorphism occurs of the limestone, it changes into a marble. Marble, you know how hard it is. So most of the rocks becomes more harder than the previous. Similarly, the quartz, the sandstone become quartz, and as I told you, the carbon becomes a diamond. Most of the rocks, because of the metamorphism, becomes more harder. It does not contain any fossils because of the high temp. It formed because of the high temperature and high pressure. It does not contain any type of a fossils in it. And also, it having a very coarse granite metamorphic rock, it is a very hard. It becomes a very hard, does not have any cracks or cracks. Mainly it is non-porous. Some of the are the previous like Genesis, but most of the rocks are impermeable. The most Genesis metamorphic rock comprised band of the regular quartz and sulfur. This was a different characteristic of a metamorphic rock. Now the metamorphism, types of metamorphism, we'll see in the next video.